Hi, boys and girls. I hope that you all have been having a great week. I hope you had a great weekend. Today, our reading passage in your packet is called A Class of Twins. One day, Emma and Tasha were wearing the same shirt to school. We must be twins. We look the same, joked Tasha. Emma laughed. Everyone in class looks the same to me, said Mr. Reed. What do you mean, Mr. Reed? Asked Mike. I have red hair and Lewis has brown hair. And my eyes are brown, but Kate's are green, said Vincent. That is true, said Mr. Reed. But you all have two eyes and two ears. You all have noses and mouths. You are all the same. I guess we are all twins then, said Tasha. Everyone laughed. So, boys and girls, Emma and Tasha, the two girls that were wearing the same shirt, they weren't really twins. They weren't really or they weren't really sisters. But they were joking that they looked the same. And that's why they said that they were twins that day. But then their teacher, Mr. Reed, explained to them that from a teacher's point of view, we love you all so much that you all are just the same to us. It doesn't matter what color your hair are, what color your hair is, what color your eyes are, what color shirt you're wearing or what kind of shoes you're wearing that day. We see each and every one of you the same as just, the children in our class that we love. So we are going to go ahead and begin to look at the question set today. And these are the questions that go along with this passage in your packet. So number one, why does Tasha say that she and Emma are twins? So boys and girls, this is kind of what we just talked about, but let's go back in the passage. It says, we must be twins. We look the same, joked Tasha. And they look the same because what were they wearing to school that day that was the same? That's right, they were wearing the same shirt. So the answer is C. They both are wearing the same shirt to school. So your answer to number one is C. Number two says, what is the setting for this passage? Boys and girls, we talk about setting in class all the time. I know that all of your teachers do. But remember, if you've forgotten, setting is where the story takes place. So does this story take place at school, at Tasha's house, or at a soccer game? Right, this passage takes place at school in their classroom. Mr. Reed jokes with his students that they are all twins because they all look the same. Which sentence from the passage shows that Mr. Reed thinks all students look the same? So is it the sentence, Emma and Tasha are wearing the same shirt to school? Is it the sentence, I have red hair and Lewis has brown hair? Or is it C, but you all have two eyes and two ears, you all have noses and mouths? Which of those three makes you believe that Mr. Reed thinks all of his students are the same? It is C, but you all have two eyes and two ears. You all have noses and mouths. Because it doesn't matter that Emma and Tasha were wearing the same shirt to school. It doesn't matter that one child has red hair and one child has brown hair. But what does matter is they're all kids. They all have two eyes, two ears, and you all have noses and mouths, just like it says right here. Number 4, what is the lesson in A Class of Twins? So, what is the lesson that you learned after you read this story? Is it that twins wear the same clothes? Is it that Mr. Reed is a fun teacher? Or is it that people have certain characteristics in common? So, boys and girls, this word right here, characteristics, that just means features or things about them that are the same. Like, it doesn't matter who it is in your class that you talk to, every one of your friends and even your teachers have two ears, or we all have a nose on our face, or we all have two hands and five fingers. So it doesn't matter, what we look like. We all have so many of those things in common, which means the same. So do you think that the lesson is that twins have to wear the same clothes? Do you think the lesson is that Mr. Reed is just a fun teacher? Or do you think the lesson of this passage was that people have certain characteristics in common? So they have certain things that are the same about everybody. Good. That answer is C. What does everyone in Mr. Reed's class have in common? So, boys and girls, you can write this on the bottom of this paper, you can write it in your journal, or you can just turn and tell a family member. But let's go back in the passage so that I know that you're finding the right answer. What does everyone in Mr. Reed's class have in common? Also, we always want to remember that when we can get our answers from the passage, we want to get it straight from the passage. We don't have to make it up, we don't have to guess. It is right here for us. So if you will look right here, I'm going to start reading right there. That is true, said Mr. Reed, but you all have 2 eyes and 2 ears. You all have noses and mouths. You are all the same. So, boys and girls, a great answer for that question would be to write that. You can underline what I just underlined in your own passage, but it says you all have 2 eyes and 2 ears. You all have noses and mouths. You are all the same. Those are the things that the children in this class have in common. All right, and then your last question again is a written question, a written answer. What did you learn from a class of twins? So, boys and girls, this is going to be different. I can't really tell you this answer, but what is something that you, just you, learned after we read and talked about this story together? So, take your time writing your answers. Remember, we underlined the first written answer in the passage, it was the 3rd line from the bottom. And then I want you to write down one thing that you learned. I hope that you guys all have a fabulous rest of your day.